Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Really rough day in the stock market today. So today, to make us all feel a little bit better, we have Teddy here as our therapy dog to make us feel all better. Say hi, Teddy. How's it going? Thanks, Teddy. Always help out. Okay. We'll let him go. Yeah, so as I said, obviously a rough day in the market today for all of us. Also, I need to give a big thanks to Joe Dallow for joining the channel members. Thank you to Joe and all the channel members for supporting the channel and helping me to continue making more content. I did want to make something quickly because I do know there's probably a lot of anxious people out there who are invested in Rocket Lab, but I don't know too much of what I can say that I haven't already said before about the stock. Personally, I don't feel like it'll break through all-time lows, which is around 3.8, 3.7. I think it may have even gotten to 3.6 briefly. Personally, I don't think it will drop that low, but I've been wrong before and I could be wrong again. I said in a tweet today, if you've never been humbled during your investing career, that means you haven't been investing in individual companies for very long, because if you do this long enough, eventually everyone will be humbled and something will happen that you simply thought would not, should not, or could not happen. That's definitely happened to me before with other companies and could happen to Rocket Lab. I'll never say I know exactly what's going to happen, only what I personally think, and obviously nothing I say on this channel is investment advice. I just say my thoughts and what I'm doing, and I leave you guys to make all your own decisions, do your own research, and your own due diligence. That being said, I mean, obviously, I don't particularly enjoy these down days either. I know a lot of people who are still in accumulation mode are probably pretty happy to see a day like this. If they want to add more shares, they're probably thrilled about it, getting it below the fours. Other people, especially if you've been in Rocket Lab since they came public, since the SPAC, you're probably sick of it. You're probably sick of seeing this big red loss in your portfolio and sick of the down days, just really tired and want to see your returns, and that makes it tough, I know. What I can say, and that I have said many times before, is generally I will look at what the company is doing over what the stock is doing when I'm making a decision like selling or adding more. For example, if the company has really bad results, that might influence my thinking a lot more than if the stock goes down on no news. And today we really didn't have much news. We have bond prices moving. We have the overall markets dropping significantly. Rocket Lab seemed to drop pretty significantly, and so did a lot of other stocks in the space industry, a lot of other stocks that are considered growth type stocks as well. And this is one thing I was worried about that's a bit of a wild card, because I didn't see a lot of bad news coming, but I just wasn't sure, how much Rocket Lab could move down if the overall stock market does move down, because Rocket Lab was already at a fairly low position in its range, and the overall stock market was at a pretty high position in its range, and usually it is somewhat at least influenced by those overall markets. So if a overall market pullback happens to be completely justified, does Rocket Lab drop, even though, a lot of us feel like that price drop is not justified considering where it's already dropping from? It's a tough one. All I can say is I've been thinking very hard about adding more shares. I know I've said I thought I was done with adding shares and I had a full position. Obviously, I don't have a ton of capital available. So when I do buy more Rocket Lab shares, I've got to sell something, and it's always a tough decision, always frustrating to have to do. It's been Google lately. I was thinking of selling. I didn't make a full decision on that yet. We'll see if it does go any lower. I still might end up pulling the trigger on that. The other thing to remember is I do have a Rocket Lab put out there, which means that if the stock price is still below $4 on April 18th, I will be buying a bunch more shares of the average cost of $3.78 or something like that, a price that I think is quite good. So I do need to make sure to keep dry powder available in the scenario where that does get triggered. Just always want to be transparent with how these options work and make sure if you are considering trading options yourself, you know what you're getting into. Personally, I would put the odds of it closing on April 18th still at this point. I want to say it's higher than a 50% chance that by that time it'll be back above $4. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but in the past we haven't seen it drop below 4 for a very extended period of time. And if it does make you feel any better, my other large position in an individual company in my portfolio is Tesla, which also had a horrible day. And even more than that, they actually reported horrible delivery numbers for Q1, which is even worse in my eyes because that is something, that shows the performance of the underlying company, and it's not just kind of the vagaries of stock movements. So on my end, I have 2 stocks down big today that I can be depressed about, whereas you guys, at least some of you, may only have 1. But if I can get through it and know that it's just the stock market, things go up and down, hopefully you can get through it too without too much stress and anxiety. And again, like I always say, nothing wrong with diversifying. It's actually quite safe. And if you feel so much stress and anxiety about your Rocket Lab position right now that you're having trouble, probably a sign that you should consider, having some more diversification, perhaps some index funds, and things like that as well. I will never tell anyone that they shouldn't hold index funds. So ultimately, I do think if you thought Rocket Lab was a good deal yesterday at the price it was at, then you have to think it's a really good deal today at the price it's at, because there's no bad news about the company. It's just moving down on the overall market movement. And from that point of view, at least, nothing really to worry about. Concerns remain, of course. The main thing I've been watching for quite a while is looking forward to that Archimedes test fire, hoping it really does happen by the end of May. That would definitely alleviate tons of concerns among the investor community. If you are looking for a bright side in all this, at least we can say that in the after hours, the stock is already up about 1.5%. Now, that doesn't always translate to the next day, the opening, but at least it's something, and things could be looking good for a better day for the stock tomorrow. If you did take advantage of today as a buying opportunity and add more shares, congratulations, you were able to add shares at a lower cost basis than my current average cost basis is. So I do think, in my own personal opinion, you won't regret it. But of course, as I said, not financial advice. Anyway, just a short one today. Stock always moves in mysterious ways. I know it can be frustrating. Sometimes it helps to be a part of a community and feel like we're all in this together, and that is mainly the crux of the video today. So I just wanted to say that without hopefully diving into like a cult-like situation where, I don't want to get into saying like we're all just believers in Rocket Lab no matter what, even if they do mess up something. Like, it's a company I do believe in, but at the same time, I want to track it, make sure they're accomplishing what I expect them to accomplish, and, hold them accountable if I think something changes. Don't want to just be what I guess Nanalyze would call the blind cult followers. I think if you watch the channel, you'll agree that I've done a lot of research and diving into numbers and spreadsheets and all that, and not just kind of blindly saying, oh, the stock will go up eventually because, and that's it. So hope you guys have a good day. Thanks again to the newest channel member. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do consider doing so. Every new subscriber helps out so much. Hopefully you're not feeling too anxious or upset about the stock movement. If it does go down again further, I might just have to buy some more personally. Let me know how you've dealt with it today down in the comments below. A bit of a group therapy session more than anything else, but I think sometimes you need that as an investor as well. So we'll be back soon with some more regular content and research and stuff like that. But for today, hope you're all doing well. I hope you have a good rest of the week, and bye for now.